This circulation actually is headed towards Bear and Owl Creek Road and Blakely Dam Road right into Mountain Pine. So if it holds together, you know, a tornado warning would eventually be extended into Mountain Pine. But even though you're not under a tornado warning, those of you that don't have tornado shelters or are traveling to a neighbor's house to get into a tornado shelter, I advise you to go ahead and do that and be in place.
Okay, James?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they just said they're going to go, they looked at the latest scan, they're going to maintain that tour for a little bit longer.
Okay, so
they're not planning to cancel it early yet.
They're going to keep the warning in place, and I think that's the right decision. We've got the area of rotation right there. You need a way to get warnings. The KATV Weather app is a great way to do that. KATV.com/chime-in is a great way to submit pictures or video that you may come across. Never risk your safety to get us a picture or video, but that's one great way you can do that. I'm looking real quick at some of our feeds from our storm chasers. I don't think we have many people in the area. We've got a couple of guys up on the storm that's further towards the north, but this storm that's off further towards the south is more kind of all by itself, but it is moving into Garland County. And there are a ton of people in Garland County. The closer you get to Mountain Pine and Hot Springs Village, those areas, hopefully this stays aloft and not down at the ground. It looks like the rotation weakened slightly. You know, we could go scan to scan with this. It weakened slightly. It increased slightly. The point is, though, it is a very dangerous storm, and at least for the moment, it looks like the Weather Service is going to issue a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for Lake Ouachita up through Hot Springs Village. And so it's uncertain if they're going to reissue the tornado warning. And also, this storm is about to merge with another storm, so we'll see what happens to this as that occurs. But some large hail does at the very least look to be heading for Mountain Pine and then eventually into Hot Springs Village. Another severe thunderstorm warning I want to tell you about is up just towards the north, and this actually goes to the Pulaski County line. So we're starting to get storms that are on the western side of the metro area, and this one actually goes through Perryville. This is the big storm that we've been tracking really since it was north of Mena. Now it is in eastern sections of Yell County, and they
went ahead and canceled the tornado warning.
Okay, good. They
they canceled a tornado warning. Oh, it was for Garland. Right. They just trimmed out Garland.
Just trimmed the warning. We still have that tornado warning in effect. So here's the current situation. We still have those 3 storms out there. They have so far been large hail producers. And I'm looking at our tower cams to see if we have any views of these storms, and we don't have any good views as of right now. Of course, the sun is setting, so we'll be able to see a lot of lightning. These storms are putting out a lot of lightning. I do want to look at the hail that's about to move into the western section of Perry County. We're getting, where at one point we were getting ping pong ball size hail, and I think we still are there, and that's about to move along Arkansas Highway 314 into Perry County. Eventually it will get over towards Highway 7. Down towards Lake Ouachita, it looks like it's more along the lines of quarter size hail that is falling, and this is going to move up towards, again, Mountain Pine and Hot Springs Village. So we've got the hail core plotted right there. The area of rotation is off towards the southwest of that. The hail threat is there with this storm as well. Again, Mountain Pine and then over into Hot Springs Village if the storm holds together. The storm is merging, it looks like, with another cell that's off towards the south, and we'll see what happens as that cell kind of merges with this. Sometimes that's a destructive merger, sometimes it's not. 3 storms, all severe thunderstorm warnings. The storm near Sparkman does not have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. The only storm in the state that is tornado warned is the storm that is approaching Lake Ouachita. It looks like we've got still some weak rotation with it, and this is, as I go street by street here, this is getting very close to the lake. So this is about to move probably out over the lake, at least for a brief period of time, or it's going to be very, very close before it gets over to Brady Mountain on the east side of the lake. So still, it's very weak rotation. I think that's a good sign. However, I wouldn't just look at this and say there's 0 tornado threat. Don't worry about it. I think there is still some threat for a tornado, and the tornado warning is actually in effect for about 15 more minutes. Of course, this area of rotation is going to move outside the current tornado warning box before that. So we'll see what the Weather Service decides. They may opt to issue another tornado warning, or they may opt to just leave a severe thunderstorm warning. I have to say, if I just looked at this radar image and we had strong upper level winds in place, I'd say there's definitely a tornado down north of Crystal Springs. But the upper level winds are at least at certain levels of the atmosphere kind of weak today, and that's limiting the tornado threat so far, and we hope that that continues. The heaviest rain right over Lake Ouachita, the hail right over Lake Ouachita, the circulation just towards the south on the southern shore of Lake Ouachita, and it is moving towards the east. Matt, is there any update from the Weather Service on what they are seeing? The good folks there, very smart, and watching this storm as closely as we are.
Now, the latest update was at 7:13, where they were continuing that tornado warning for Garland. I think I might have misspoke earlier. It was Montgomery that they canceled it for. I couldn't remember, but they also issued a special weather statement here for Lawrence as well as Randolph, Arkansas. Beyond that, they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Perry, Saline, and Yell, Arkansas. I would likely just be an update here with the one that was east of Mena. So there's that, and there's also the Danville, just south of Danville storm here that's pushing off toward the east that has been trying to form some kind of circulation at the ground, but so far storm merging hasn't really done enough to really get it over that edge and actually put something out. Then there is also the storms. There are also the storms here farther to the north, toward Ozark as well as Roseville, and then farther east toward Dover. You actually are just still barely in that severe thunderstorm warning. Although I would say that storm that triggered that warning is pushed off more toward your east now. You could still get some rear flanking downdraft wind on top of you, but I'd say most of that threat is pushed off to your north and east currently. Then there's another severe thunderstorm warning just northwest of Clinton. This one, putting out some very heavy downpours and some hail. I don't know if we have really been showing a lot of these hail cores, but you can kind of see how they spike up every once in a while and then come back down again. This is a little process called cycling. Storms act like a heartbeat, all right? They beat up, then they beat back down. All right, and that's what happens. A lot of times they cycle. They cycle upward, they cycle downward. The same thing happens with tornado threats. A tornado can last for anywhere between a few seconds to a few minutes to even longer than that. But I expect that these would be fairly short-lived, just considering the current setup that we have. All right, they canceled the tornado warning. So that is over with. James, I want to pass that back to you.
Yeah, we still have a small area of rotation that we're watching, and this is going to be over Lake Ouachita. The entire circulation is broad, but there could be, I think, still something there. But the National Weather Service has opted to cancel the tornado warning that is in effect. The storm there is merging with another storm towards its south. So we will see if that makes a difference on the weakening of this storm. Of course, a very strong storm, severe storm towards the north is about to go into southern Perry County. And what I want to do is I want to take you through our camera network, and we'll start in Hot Springs, and then we'll go up towards Perryville and try to get a view on what is going on as we look towards the west. And with sun beginning to set, we are going to be seeing quite a bit of lightning. So here is the view now from Hot Springs. Of course, we're looking off towards the west, towards that storm. We're looking towards Lake Ouachita, and we are not seeing a whole lot other than just a storm. Let's go to Perryville, if I can find the right input here, and that is Perryville looking off towards the west. Again, what we're seeing is looks like some rain there in the distance, and at times you can see plenty of lightning. There's plenty of lightning out there as well. A quick update on the tornado watch and the severe warnings that are in effect. We have the tornado watch in effect for the western half of the state. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for numerous storms, even to the west of Little Rock. I think the tornado watch is because there's an isolated tornado threat, but remember, the large hail and damaging wind threat are a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and look just overall, at the overall picture. We're still watching these storms. We think there's an isolated tornado threat with the large hail threat as well, but I want to take you kind of look at a little bit of a regional view. We've got storms pretty much all over the place from here back into Oklahoma and North Texas. Now, a lot of these storms have been isolated so far, and as long as they are isolated, they'll have a big-time hail threat. They'll have the chance to produce isolated tornadoes. Eventually, as I pull up Futurecast here for you, we're going to take a look at just the general ideas. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where all of this just becomes one giant area of rain, and well, there's no data there. So we'll get that figured out for you and show you that. But as we go look at the storm that we just left, the storm that prompted a tornado warning, Lake Ouachita, the rotation right now is weak enough to where they feel like there's no need for a tornado warning. However, there's still the hail threat with this storm that is in Garland County, headed towards the north of Mountain Pine and then into Hot Springs Village. With the absence of tornado warnings in the state, we are going to step away from being on air, but do not worry. We are here for you. We are going to be watching these storms as they move across the state tonight. Download the KATV Weather app, use the radar to track these storms and get those severe thunderstorm and maybe tornado warnings sent directly to your device. And with that, I send us back to regular programming. Cycle